We could like move it around the house.
Exactly.
Madam Chair, ready when you are.
All right, thank you very much. Then I call this meeting to order at 10 o'clock. I will read the land acknowledgement. The city of Thorold is situated on treaty land. This land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Hattiwandawrung, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. The city of Thorold stands with all Indigenous people, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardship of the lands on which we live. Thank you. I also wanted to mention that if anyone would like to read the land acknowledgement every once in a while, please let me know. I can forward the wording to you so that you have it, and I'll be happy to rotate it. I like reading it, but maybe some of you would as well. All right? All right, next, declarations of interest. In case the Munro House will be mentioned today, I'm gonna declare a conflict of interest here since I own the Munro House. Councillor?
Same with myself, so I will pull back if there's any discussion at item 8.3.
All right, thank you very much. Now, can I have a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda, please? Tom has moved. Wynne has seconded. I'll call the question. All those in favor? All right. Anyone opposed? No? Then that is carried. Can I have a mover and a seconder on the adoption of the minutes of our last meeting, please? Councillor O'Hare has moved. Dave has seconded. I call the question. All those in favor? Oh, actually, one quick thing. I noticed something on the minutes. It's a very small thing, and it is probably a matter of interpretation. On item 9.1, Trinity United Church, it says in the minutes that committee chair O'Hare advised that she had a meeting with the new owners along with Ken Schultens. We haven't had that meeting yet. We will have a meeting. It hasn't happened yet. Other than that, I have called the question. All those in favor with the adoption of the minutes? Okay, anyone opposed? No, then that is carried. At this point, I'd like to make a short announcement, something sad. I've had a email from Sarah Kinghead last Thursday informing me that Pamela Minns has passed away. From what I understand, Mayor Ugolini will pay tribute to Pam in the next regularly scheduled council meeting, which I think is next Tuesday. But I'd like to take this opportunity to, on behalf of the Heritage Committee, to express our condolences to Pam's family and her friends. I have never had the pleasure to personally meet Pam, but I've been told lots of stories by her friends and fellow advocates. And those tell me that she was an amazing woman and certainly a power to be reckoned with. She would have been 95 this year, and she dedicated over 30 years to public work and, in particular, the preservation and revitalization of Niagara's heritage. For her tireless advocacy and passionate devotion, she was honored with numerous prestigious awards, including in 2022, the Order of Canada. Thorold and particularly this committee have been truly fortunate and privileged to have had her as a champion. And I'm looking forward to, being told many more stories about her many achievements, which I won't go into right now. I also have to leave something for our mayor to talk about next week. All right. Any comments? No? Okay. Then we'll move on to correspondence. Justin, I think you had something?
Yep, just want to let everyone know that there will be committee recruitment starting next week for the vacant position committees and the one local board. And more specific for this committee, there's one at-large member we are still looking for. So if you know anyone, they can apply starting next week.
All right, and for how long is the recruitment open for?
We plan for the month of February, so you got lots of time.
All right, thank you. I should also mention I've had a short exchange with Nick about our heritage in, sorry, Nick, I let you go first.
Thank you. I guess somewhat related to that, although I'll let you say yours in a minute. I actually just received an email this morning from Morgan in Planning, and I guess there's been some reorganization on the website, and there was just a request if the committee could take a look at what's shown as the designated properties on the city's website and just make sure that jives with the list that the committee has, just so they can make sure everything is captured on there. What they've done is they've made it so that the heritage is under planning and development, and then there's a link there that leads out to the Heritage Thorold website, and then it has a page with all tiles of all the different properties designated. So I can forward that over to the committee to take a look at, but they just wanted the committee to take a look and make sure everything is good. So
great, we'll do that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And related to that, we just had a quick exchange about Thorold's heritage inventory list of not designated buildings. We had decided last year that due to the limitations put on us with that particular list by Bill 23, we would not carry this list for now because there's not that much point to it, since any building on this list can only stay on it for 2 years unless it's designated during that time. It needs to be taken off and cannot be put back on for 5 years after that. Also, the rules now, in order for a building to be added to that list, is to inform the owners, who have then the right to protest this. So there's a lot of paperwork involved to have this list at all. We had at the time also said that we might change our mind about this in the future, and we might put together a list again if there are any changes in government rules about this. Then obviously we would like a standing list again, and of course we have for ourselves a list of over 100 buildings that have heritage potential. It's just that at this point they are not an official list on the city's site. I also mentioned to Nick if there's new information that comes forward with regards to that or new ideas, then we will from time to time bring this up in our meetings just to see whether we are happy with the present situation or whether we want to change it. Are there any comments regarding this? No? Then we'll move on. Oh, yes, Nick.
Thank you. I was just going to add to that. There's we're monitoring what the province is doing with the Heritage Act and the register aspect of that through work as well. So if I hear anything, I'll of course pass it on to the committee. If there's anything that can be done differently, or if we have news to share, I'll let you know.
Okay, great. Appreciate it. Thanks. All right, then we move on to financial. Invoices for payment. Any information whether the plaque stands that were ordered last fall have been paid? Justin or Nick? No? Okay. I might just send an email to planning and see whether that's been done. I also submitted a couple of invoices this month. One were just a few small print jobs that I had paid for in advance. I've already gotten that check, so those are off the list. And one was for the heritage report on 82 Welland Street North by Sarah King Head. That was handed in to be paid from our 2023 budget. So if that could be taken care of as soon as possible, that would be great. I only handed that in last week, though. I think that was it for the invoices. There is an additional invoice coming, but I'd already informed Justin that this will be a 2024 budget item. It is the website hosting fee for the year from the Web for Business, and so that will be dealt with in February. And I will send it to you, Justin, as soon as we've gone from January into February. Anything to add in terms of invoices? No? Okay. Then we move on to the Beaver Dam's book sales. I have a quick question for that with regards to that. I don't know whether you know, Tom, or whether you do, Justin. Where do you pay for those books when one does get sold? Like the money for them goes to a city coffer, which is held in reserve in case there are heritage expenses that are outside our budget. So we don't collect, it's the city who collects. And there's one particular reason why I ask, because I have a stash of those books. They were all taken to my house, and I took one because I wanted to read it. So I bought one, but I haven't paid for it yet. So I'd like to know where to do that. Do you remember?
Actually, no, I wasn't. I was not involved with any of the book sales that I really.
Yeah.
That was it. Actually, it came up as a question in terms of, and I'm not saying anything negative about the city, but it was a question of should the money come to our committee, or should it go to the city and general coffers?
Yeah.
And that's where it ended up going.
Yeah, but it's not general coffers. I think it goes into a heritage reserve fund.
It does say, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't know the process. Yeah.
Yeah, but we can't just use that money, so we have to bring that to council if we
Yes.
would like to use it for something, and they get to decide. So, well, maybe I get in touch with Matthew about that. And I also have no idea how much the books cost. Like, they were printed before my time. And so maybe the city can put a price on them and then also let me know where I can pay for it. Okay. All right. Next, budget 2024. It's being decided on presently. As far as I know, Councillor, our budget has already been decided upon. Is that true?
Through you, Madam Chair, the budget deliberations are going to be completed tonight, so it's not final yet. It's
Okay.
still ongoing.
Okay. Then we leave that until our next meeting and move on, unless somebody has any comments regarding the budget? No. Okay. Ongoing business, Beaver Dam's Church. Linda is not here, I see. Does anybody else have news regarding Beaver Dam's Church? Yes, Councillor?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Not any new news, but just to announce that there's a meeting tomorrow evening. I believe start time is 7 o'clock, but I'm Not 100% sure on that, but it is tomorrow evening.
Okay. Next, the Stone Store. The exterior renovations on the designated building on Front Street are, from what I can see, complete for now. However, we will keep this item on our agenda because there is a development planned for behind this particular building and as an addition. And of course, when that happens, generally the Heritage Committee wants to be informed what that will look like and been shown plans as to the design and the general look of that development. I don't see any problem with that. It will be in the back. I doubt that it will be very visible from Front Street at all. And I'm sure, judging by the work that the current owner has done with this building, they will stay within the realm of acceptable construction regarding a designated building. Any comments? Nope. All right, then the Flannery House. Wynne, you are always my go-to with that because you live across the street. Any signs of work going on there?
Through you, Madam Chair, no, there's no evidence of any ongoing renovation or even a start of it. So I think they're just in a holding pattern, but that's, just what I see, not what I actually know. Who knows if works are underway, but yeah, nothing has happened.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Installation of history plaques for designated properties has not happened yet for the Stone Store because by the time renovations were complete, we were heading into the colder weather and the city was busy at the time with the Santa Claus parade. So we probably are looking at the spring now to attach a plaque to that building. It will have to be attached to the side of the building. Because there's no room to comfortably accommodate that info plaque on the front. However, there is a laneway between the building and the next one, so if you come down the street, it will be easily visible. And I think the Public Works has already been informed where it's supposed to be. Is that correct, Councillor?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Good. And then we had briefly talked about new candidates for history plaques to be installed, candidates that of buildings that are designated already but do not have a history plaque. I had suggested last time to maybe look at St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church and Trinity United Church as our next two candidates, since they are large public buildings and both don't have such a plaque. What about you guys? Do you have any other suggestions that you would like to see happen first, or would you be all right with providing plaques for those two buildings? All right. Do we need a motion for that, or can we just say we do those? Yep. Okay. All right. Then I'll get some wording together for both those buildings to have on the plaque. The stands we already have. I'll forward those, or I'll have those in the agenda for next meeting. You guys can have a look at it and then give me your input whether that's acceptable. And if yes, then I'll forward them to McGee's and they will get the plaques ready. Next on the list, outstanding planning items, the Monroe House. Are there any news?
Sadly, no.
Okay.
I had intended to have the new bylaw done and on the agenda for this meeting, but timing just didn't work out with other things on the go. So I will also endeavor to have that to the next meeting so we can get that one wrapped up.
All right. No big deal. We'll defer that to whenever it fits into the schedule.
Okay.
Heritage permit status update. Any news?
No news to share other than it's something that's in the work plan for planning to look at. So I hope that as the year goes on, then we'll have some updates on that.
Okay. Next, downtown facade program. Have there been any new applicants for that particular grant program that you know of? No? Okay. Maybe who would somebody apply to if they wanted that grant? Justin, do you know?
I'm afraid I'm not sure who that would be.
Maybe I just send Matthew an email, ask whether he knows who would be applied to, and then that particular office can maybe, when there is an application, forward that to the Heritage Committee so that we know. Yes, Councillor?
Thank you, Madam Chair. One person to get in touch with here at the city is our economic development person, Ken Scholten.
Okay.
He would have the answers for that.
Okay. Yeah, maybe then I give Ken a call, and just so you know, when there's an application when there is an application made, that we are informed of it. Next, new business, Trinity United Church, as I already mentioned in our in an earlier discussion about. It was about the minutes of the last meeting. I'm still waiting to have a meeting with the Economic Development Officer, Ken, and the new owners. That hasn't happened yet. From what I hear, there are some like policy or legislative problems that have to be worked out. I hope that can happen soon, because I think this would be a great project for the city, a great item that where a historic building is reused in a positive way and preserved at the same time. So I'm very much looking forward to have that meeting, and obviously I will inform you all once that happens. Moving on, yes, new business, our present designation project. Number 82 Welland Street North, from now on to be called the William Stable House. The heritage report is finished. It is fantastic. I've read it already. I will forward it to all of you, and maybe you can have a look at it to be open for discussion at the next meeting. We, of course, have to evaluate the report. However, as usual, Sarah has basically done the work for us and already set it up against all the criteria that are prescribed by the government. And so either today or tomorrow, I will forward the report to all of you, and you can have a look at it. I imagine that you would like to see it too, Nick?
Yes, thank you. I was going to ask if I could read
Yep.
it too, and then we can start to think about what the designating bylaw might look like. And I think she probably has some text in there, if I remember from the last one. But
the notice of intent to designate will be deferred for a little bit, because the owners would like a designation ceremony in late summer, so either late August or even early September, because they would like the house to look as good as possible for that. And because there's a restriction of time between the notice of intent and the designation ceremony now, we have to make sure we do not give that notice of intent more than 120 days from our prospective ceremony date. So we have plenty of time to read the report and evaluate it, and then word the designation bylaw correctly, the way it should be. Any other comments regarding this particular project? No? Okay. Then we'll move on to the Indigenous presence in the Battle of Beaver Dams Park. This is not really one of our projects. I just keep it on the agenda to inform everybody if there's news. Together with Sarah, I have had a meeting with Michelle Elise Burnett regarding this. Since we last talked about that in our meeting, and since we also brought a motion to council to support this, things have evolved again. So Michelle Elise now has informed us of her vision. We both love it very much. I don't want to take the opportunity here to describe it because that's Michelle Elise's thing, and I want to leave that to her. As far as I know, she speaks in council tonight. So if anybody is interested, you can listen to her presentation, or it doesn't have to be tonight if you don't have time. I'm sure the meeting can be watched on YouTube later on. But anyways, a very exciting vision, and I just think as the Heritage Committee, we should be in support and offer our help if we're asked. If everybody is in favor of that, of course. Then we're moving on to our information sessions for real estate agents. I have not heard yet from Milan. He had originally suggested a meeting in late January. I also know that they were in the middle of renovating their offices in St. Catharines, so that might have gone on for a little bit longer. I will shoot him a message this week, though, to see where we are at, but that will definitely happen. He was very interested to have the committee's input in advertising heritage properties correctly, and also taking people's fear away of purchasing heritage properties. I also know through the councillor that there's also another local real estate agent who is very much interested in finding out more about our heritage properties. So that will come, but we'll just also have to go with the time frame of the people involved. Next, designation priorities. We are working on a designation now. That doesn't mean we're not already looking for other projects. We have a few on the go, nothing certain yet. I hope within the next 2 months to be able to inform everybody what our next project will be. If it doesn't happen until later in the year, then we'll again have a crossover where we do half this year, half the next year. But for now, let's just say there's a few that we are keeping warm, but there's no decision made yet. Any comments? No? Okay. Next item on the list, info events and fairs. That, as we have mentioned before, is extremely important in order to distribute our message to the greater public and make them excited about preserving our heritage and also our environment, which is very closely connected to it. Any building that is torn down is not just a tragedy for history lovers, it is an environmental hazard. So preservation is an extremely important item that we have to advocate, and then also find ways to reuse certain buildings if they're not regular homes, to reuse them in a different way than they were perhaps meant for originally. But adaptive reuse is a fantastic way to preserve our old buildings and also protect our environment. That's why I would really also like to know what's going on with Trinity United Church. Also here I wanted to ask, any ideas from the committee how we can make people come to us when we are at events where we want to share our ideas? Tom, you have already had a really great idea with getting a board ready that will be standing behind our stand with historic photos that you will be the source of, I understand. To get people interested to come to our table and talk to us. I mean, the first thing, being there is one thing, but the most important thing is to make people actually want to talk to us. Yes, Tom.
Are there any events that are coming up in the let's say the next 3 or 4 months that we could attend and make not a presentation, but have a presence where people could see what we do, and similar to what we did actually at the seniors home when you and I were there. I found that quite informative and people responded quite well. Yeah. And if we can target some of those events and where we could have a presence, I think that would be something that we should focus on.
Absolutely. And I don't know, yes, Wynn?
Through you, Madam Chair. Within the next couple of months, I'm not really sure which events are taking place or which ones would be the best ones, but I really think a good opportunity for us would be to attend the weekly Wednesday summer markets. If we were to have a booth, maybe we can, if it's in the budget, maybe we can get pens made or something. People love to stop by for free things. That's kind of how we hook them in, right? But then we can have our presence there, and then perhaps we can, throughout the whole duration of that every week, we could maybe swap through people like, on the committee volunteering to be there for that, or maybe not do it every week or something like that. But I think that would be a really good opportunity because people from all over the community and even outside the community come to our Thorold market. So that would be a really good way to get our activities and our word out to the broader population.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I'm not sure, Justin, whether you would know that, but do you think that Heritage might maybe get a free corner at the city table, or would we have to pay for a table to be?
Through you, I wouldn't know that. Dave Baldoni, they do all that. It'd probably be best to ask him about that.
I'll be in touch with Dave. All right. Yeah, the market is a given. That's a fantastic opportunity, and now the market won't start until June, though. And so if we can source some events within the next few months where we could also be present, that would expand our presence past the summer months. So if anyone knows or hears of events taking place in, between now and the end of May, then we should look into whether we could have a table there, be present for people to talk to. So if you, Councillor, hear anything that's going on in the city at whatever venue, and then maybe if you do, also right away ask what would be involved in terms of cost to be represented there, then please let us know. Okay. Any other input? Yes, Councillor?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you, I love Wynn's idea of having a presence at the market. One thing we might be able to look at as well is getting in touch with the caretakers of the museum artifacts and pieces, and maybe there can be an arrangement made where historic heritage pieces are lent out on a market day. And I'm kind of thinking something that might be attractive to kids, just to pull them into the booth and make it a learning experience as well.
Sure, that would be fantastic if the museum board is willing to lend these items out. So, great idea. Or if anybody privately has things, yes, I know.
Yes, I will.
I'll search my house too. I'll be happy to lend things out too. All right. Yes, all right. So let's really get going on this year. I think that is one of our most important tasks, is to educate and make everybody excited about preserving our legacy. All right, the next item will defer until later. That's the towpath signage and plaquing recognition. There's a lot going on towpath. There's the construction on the corner for the McDonald's, and there might be changes along towpath over the next couple of years anyways. So putting up signage and plaques right now, we do have them, but that doesn't make sense until we know what's going to happen along that stretch. Somehow it does seem to make sense to keep these plaques intact, or these signs intact, until the area is in a state where they can be put up and stay where they are instead of being changed again after the fact. And then we have the new official plan. I would imagine that hasn't moved much further since our last meeting. Nick, do you have any news there?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. No, there's not been much movement on that. Although I do know that the planning department, they've been building up the policy side and trying to have people who really focus on the policy aspect. So I know the official plan is one of the priority projects to work on. So I expect we'll see movement on that as the year progresses too.
Okay.
So I'll of course keep the committee informed, and opportunities for input will definitely be available.
Okay, great, thanks.
You're welcome.
And well, we're already close to the end of our list. Roundtable discussion. All right, Dave, would you like to start? Would you have anything to add?
Actually, I don't have much to add, but... Oh, I thought that was a secret.
Yeah, don't. Not yet, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have nothing to add. I've been silenced.
Not by me.
By Anna.
Tom, anything to add?
Not at this point.
Okay. Councillor?
No, nothing to add.
Okay. Justin?
Nothing to add.
Okay. All right. Nick?
Nothing from me this time. Thanks.
Okay. Madam Chair? Madam Vice Chair?
Nothing from me, Madam Chair.
Okay. Hi, Ricardo. Hi. Good, good. We're actually just about done for today. Yeah. Our next meeting will be held on February 27th at 10 o'clock, hybrid format as usual. And there being no further business, the meeting is then adjourned at 10:39. Okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks very much.